Well, I'm excited to see the movie someday.
Yeah, me too.
Do it for this stupid show.
Yeah, maybe it'll be really good. And we'll have to eat our words.
Kind of like we're going to do this week.
Hey, watch
it with Dan and Tony. Hey, watch it with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hey Watching with Dan and Tony. I am Dan.
I am Tony.
On this show, we watch a movie, we talk about the movie, and typically the movie is beyond terrible, as evidenced by the movie we did last week, which, man, it might have moved up in the top 10 of the worst, all the absolute worst movies we've ever seen.
I think that's easily top 10, maybe top 5, if I'm being honest. I strongly disliked it.
It was, because the thing about, just to talk about the movie we did last week, Drive Away Dolls.
Driveway Dolls, yeah.
It had the money. It had studio back. It had everything going for it. It had people that ostensibly are actors. It wasn't. Todd just sent us this movie where Gary Busey is a rich guy who dies and then comes back as a white Pomeranian and has to.
I didn't read this message yet. I saw him send something, and I didn't read it yet. But that's incredible.
And it's one of those Christian movies, one of those financed by Christians to
love that. Yeah,
God brings him back as a dog to whatever direct to video. You know that movie's going to have an amount of problems, from technical to sound to editing,
but it'll be fun.
Drive Away Dolls, not a lot of fun.
No, not a lot of anything. I did not like that movie.
But it's the whole thing. It had everything in its corner. Everything you could get in your corner for a movie to be good. And
except for it made one big mistake, Dan.
The accent.
It made two big mistakes. It hired a Cohen, it let someone do that stupid accent. Those were your two biggest mistakes.
So, Tony, what movie are we talking about this week that didn't make those two mistakes?
Yeah, so we course correct. I might have over course corrected.
I went into the what was the chasm movie we watched? The Gorge. I went into the Gorge.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? Instead of that, let's fly 10,000 feet above the Gorge. Never even see the Gorge. We'll be fine. I don't know. There was getting a lot of guff.
People angry.
The tomato score is pretty mixed for critics, not for audience. Audience is pretty positive.
Critics are 50% and audience is 88%, which
80. I mean, that's good.
That's good. And that's similar to what Mission Impossible is at right now.
Which, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know either. I haven't seen it. I haven't gotten off my butt to get to a theater to see Mission Impossible for 3 hours. Can't do it, Dan. I can't sit in a theater. It's 2 hours 40 something, and I can't do it. I can't do that in an uncomfortable theater seat. I'm 40 years old. My butt hurts. My back hurts. I can't do it.
I thought they made comfortable theater seats now.
Okay, well, so now we're going to get a little theater talk here. We have two theaters near us. We have an AMC, which is incredibly uncomfortable but delightful food. Hot dogs, mozzarella sticks, everything you could want from movie theater food. And then we have the Look Dine-In Cinemas, and it's one of those reclining seats. They're very comfortable. That food is absolute trash. It is garbage. I've tried almost everything on the menu, and I eat like half of it and throw the rest away. It is trash. They need to work on that. Now, here's the thing. If I'm going to see a 2-hour, 40-minute movie, I'm going to need to eat some food. So I just can't do it. I have to wait till it comes home so I can make my own food, my own hot dogs, and get through it.
You're going to wait for Mission Impossible to watch it at home on a home screen?
I have to. I can't do it in a theater. I can't do it. I physically can't do it, Dan.
Wow. Quentin Tarantino's rolling over in his grave.
First of all, good. I don't like him either. Tarantino also sucks. Tarantino and the Coen brothers, the most two overrated directors of all time.
But you liked the one with the guys in it.
Promise you I didn't. I have never enjoyed
Oh,
a
really?
Tarantino film. Never.
Yeah.
Not a single one.
You didn't like Mr. Pink and Mr. Black and all that movie?
Reservoir Dogs. No, don't like that movie. Absolute hogwash. Anyhow, let's get back to what we're doing this week. So, biggest movie in the world.
We're learning things about you, Tony. Oh, Minecraft.
Yeah,
that's the movie. We're doing Minecraft this week.
That's
Tony's
what we're
pick.
doing this week. Sorry, it took too long to get to it. But yeah, we're doing Minecraft this week. Jack Black, Jason Momoa, some younger people I don't know, and the guy that did Napoleon Dynamite, one of the worst films of all time.
And he did it again.
He did it again. Knocked it out of the park. Top level, Dan, thoughts?
Was never bored.
No, you're never bored in this movie. That's true.
There were never terrible accents.
No, that's true.
There were.
I mean, that's a pretty low bar.
We got to start somewhere.
If you just sound like a human throughout the movie, that's 2 thumbs up from Dan.
There were a number of jokes that I thoroughly enjoyed that I thought were really, really good jokes.
Yeah.
I do feel that this felt a little bit, I mean, they're going to make another one and maybe a third. Hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, but I can imagine they're going to make a third.
They're going to milk it. They made a lot of money.
How many Jumanjis did they make?
Like the new ones, 2, right?
Just was it
2?
only 2?
I don't think they made a third.
I don't think they made a third either. And that is the comparable movie to this. This movie is like the Jumanji movies, I think.
Maybe they did make a third.
I don't think they did.
Jumanji 3 sets December 2026 release date. They are supposedly making a third.
Yeah. So those movies, I did not like the original Jumanji movie at all. Ugh. Disliked it immensely.
I'm sorry, with Robin Williams?
I'm not a big Robin Williams movie fan.
You got to quit the podcast. You got to quit. You got to go home. What do you mean you're not a big Robin Williams? That movie's amazing. The original Jumanji is a staple of my childhood.
Yeah, it's a kid's movie, and I did not see it when I was a kid.
That's fair. Well, I didn't see this movie as a kid, and don't matter.
I do think that this movie is a kid's movie.
I don't even know. I don't know if it's a kids movie. It's definitely a tween movie.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like it's an older kid, not an adult. That's where it lands, I think.
There's one point at which they do like the montage of making the stuff, and you're like, how did they get back to the town? How did
Yep.
if you want to look at all that stuff, the time is crunched, the locations are crunched. And in a real, what I would call a good movie, you can't play those. You got to kind of if you go on the big journey and then you're back to where you started in 10 seconds.
Yeah,
it's a little.
I mean, the movies it's held together with duct tape, right? But where you go in each scene is fine. It's worth it. Like if you want to look at this and be like, well, narratively, this movie doesn't make a lot of sense. That's fine. It doesn't. You're absolutely right. It's not supposed to. Yeah. Like that's not what we're here for. We're here to make jokes, references, and have a lot of fun. That's kind of it.
And I really feel like they didn't waste their time doing pop culture references. It really felt like they made lots of game references, which I could tell there were some. I tell there were some I didn't get, and so I was like, like the chicken jockey. Everyone screams and loses their minds. I was
chicken jockey.
It didn't mean anything to me, but I thought it was amusing. But I didn't. I didn't react.
Just for reference, chicken jockey's very rare. I think they have like a 0.04% chance of spawning in the overworld. Something like that. And so it's
important. But I mean, everybody plays the game, knows exactly what it is.
Right.
And so when it happens, you're like, oh my God, chicken jockey happened or whatever.
Right.
That would not be, if you were to, go, well, what are the scenes that really work for you? I would have been like, that was fine. Whatever. It doesn't mean it. But that's the biggest scene in the movie. for most
but
of the
then
fans.
you ask yourself, like, why are they in a wrestling ring? How did they get to the wrestling? What's actually happening? You have no idea.
Why is Jack Black's character tied up, but Jason Momoa's character is not tied up? And then he just unties himself. And, it is not a movie that's going to answer those questions. But
No.
once they get to the Minecraft and things start rolling, it's just Jack Black screaming. It is just Jack Black doesn't ever take it back down and go like, hey, man.
No, it's like Jack Black on a 12 for 3 months of filming. Like, that must have been a lot to handle for the entirety of that.
And there are a couple of times where you're like, is he going to be okay? Is Grandpa going to be okay? And so, like, thinking there's 2 more of these to come, you're like, we better. We
got to make them quick. We don't have a lot. This energy level from Jack's going to fade pretty soon, I think.
And I could see that
you got to respect it.
Kids are going to deal with that level of energy better than old people. But the flip side of all of that is we have the energy, and then they cut to some, when they cut back to the world and Jennifer Coolidge is dating the villager guy. God. It's just weird, but it's actually really kind of nice. They do give you these strange breathers where you're like,
it level sets. Yeah, that's exactly what it does. It brings it back down. Instead of having Jack go on a journey, they're just like, no, you stay where you are and we'll go out of it and then we'll come back. Yeah. It's smart.
Because usually the movie does, the characters in the movie, will have that interlude where they're like, now we're going to talk about things. And it's like, nope, Jack Black and Jason Momoa are just like, we're at
Don't
10.
take a break, guys. If we slow down, we'll stop. Never stop. Just keep going.
And, and so it kind of left the kids. It really is a Jack Black, Jason Momoa movie. So it left the 2 kids and the woman that played Dawn not as much to do.
For sure. Which at some point, the sister disappears for a while, and then she came back, and I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot you were in the movie.
Yeah. And so you would like the kids to have a little more to do. I don't know how you do that when... Maybe
you would like the kids to have a little more to do. I'm fine with exactly how little they did.
Sure. And I mean, that's, in some ways it is not hard for a movie, but it is kind of hard for a movie to typically take who is ostensibly your protagonist. And I mean, Jason Momoa is really the protagonist.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not ashamed to say this. This is his best role. Best role to date. This is the most I've enjoyed Jason Momoa. And that's after Fast and the Furious, where I also thoroughly enjoyed him.
Okay.
And, obviously he's great as Drogo, but he just seems like he's having so much fun in this movie. Him and Jack are just having the time of their lives, and I'm a little jealous.
I know the scene you like was the with the wings. That whole scene.
The wings is great. He's got it holding on to his hair, and he's like, "Let my hips guide you." Wow,
is that what he said? Let my hips guide you. Yeah.
Let my hips be your guide. It's amazing.
And there was so much that I wrote down that. I didn't really sit in this movie, but also, this was one of those few movies where I paused it a number of times to write down whole things that are like, oh man, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a nice move back to the Napoleon Dynamite Jared Hess, where, it was just like, this is, and that was one of our big problems with Driveway Dolls was that a lot of the characters felt totally like they were in different movies.
Yes.
Everybody's in this movie.
Everyone's on board. Everyone's playing the game. Everyone knows what they signed up for, and we're just doing it. We're going all the way, you got to respect it.
And that's what I would say is I think I enjoyed the Jumanji movies more, especially the second one. But I absolutely enjoyed this movie.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I thought I was going to make fun of it a bunch. And I mean, there's plenty to make fun of. Like, it's not a cohesive narrative. That's fine. I just don't care. I had so much fun with it that it's, I don't care. It's not a movie that you're supposed to be like, oh, let's dissect this thing. Even though that's what I said that we should do this week. And we will a little bit. But it was fun. I get it. I understand why Not that I agree with it, but I understand why kids were going crazy in the theaters, because this movie's batshit wild. And like, if you have no adult supervision, you're going and you're 12, you're 13 years old, you're going hog wild. I get it. I understand how it can happen.
Yeah, they give some breaks, but they never, take the foot off the gas. They're just like, every action scene is just going to be, the flying one and everything. At a certain point, I was like, everything is flying so fast and everything is moving so fast. You can bring it down, but that's not what they wanted to do. They wanted it.
No, that's not where we want to live.
This is a car speeding right to hell.
Right. Sleigh ride to hell.
This is a sleigh ride to hell, and it's an enjoyable sleigh ride to hell. Yeah.
It sure is.
What are we doing next week, Tony?
Well, I mean, technically it's up to you, but I do have a movie I want to do. I'm very excited.
I think it's my choice this time. You pick mine.
It is technically your choice. Yeah.
So we start with a little bit of Jack Black talking and just setting things up. And in a movie like this, you kind of need some things to set up for old people like me that have
for all of the parents who are bringing their kids to the movie. We do need a moment to just be like, okay, what is this? I don't understand where I am. Yeah.
So we have Steve. He yearned for the mines. This is just a classic shot of the kid standing there and the old man not letting go into the mines and mine.
Yeah. And the next scene is the moment where I was like, oh no, I'm going to love this movie. What happens next?
I grew up. He's selling doorknobs.
He's selling doorknobs?
Yes. He's selling doorknobs.
You don't sell doorknobs. You're not a door-to-door doorknob salesman.
He is selling doorknobs.
Yeah. He's got a great outfit on. Real nice.
Same outfit he had on when he was a kid, but he still remembered the mines. So he goes back. So he's like, he ditches his job, goes back there, gets his pickaxe, and then there's that same old miner waiting there. And
the same old miner hasn't aged a day. Jack Black has aged 50 years. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to love this movie. What a great bit. It's the exact same guy who hasn't changed 1 ounce. And Jack Black has gone from a tiny child to a 50, 60-year-old man with a beard. I was like, yep, this is great.
And how does he defeat the miner?
The greatest line of all time.
One of the best lines in the movie.
Runs at him, barely moves. I just want to listen. Jack is not as limber as he used to be, and I love that he's going for it. But he does this tiny movement, like just an inch, and he goes head fake, and the guy dives the other direction.
And you totally expect him to knock him over or do something, but he just
nope. Just head fake.
Put a good little tight, and that's what a joke is.
Nice little juke move.
Just a little juke.
Yeah.
And
juke.
You're like, okay, I'm on board with this. This is the game we're playing. We're subverting expectations.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
And we'll do it a bunch.
We'll do it a bunch of times, and that's Drive Away Dolls never subverted expectations. It always was just like right there where you're like, really? Do we? Yeah.
Really? Is that what we're doing? Really?
Why? Fakes the miner, goes in there, finds 2 mysterious artifacts, puts the artifacts together, makes a portal, goes through the portal, ends up in the overworld, where there are cubic bees, cubic sheep, and where he can create whatever his imagination is. He builds 3 houses. Life was good.
Interestingly enough, they were all very plain. Very plain houses. Yeah. Like the whole point, you should see some of the houses I've built. I mean, I've got mansions in there, dude. I've got, 12 rooms, bathrooms, bedrooms, pool rooms. It's great. All of his were like fairly simple, which I kind of respected, but also was like, is this going to come into play that he doesn't actually have that great of an imagination? It wasn't.
But I think that's kind of true. He kind of doesn't. Because
not compared to the kid.
The kid makes his first thing, and he's like, wow, that's impressive.
And illegal, by the way, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
Oh. Now, can other people visit your Minecraft world?
Yeah, there's two different ways you can play with other people. You can, because it's all server based, so you can like start a server with other people, and they can come in and go. So yes, you can, but you don't have to. You can also play solo.
So are there other people that are in your world, or is it just your world?
I have a world that I play with my nephews, and some of their friends, and then I also have my own as well. Well, because sometimes I just want to be by myself and build my own things.
Very interesting thing. Night comes every 20 minutes.
Even though that's true to the game, it's a very funny line, which happens about every 20 minutes or so.
And immediate, but I mean, that's such a brilliant line because it immediately sets up that this is not our world. It has its own set of weird rules that are going to kind of become apparent, and that it means something. I don't know. And it also means that there's a flexibility in this world that you're just, if you're not on board with it right then when he says that, then you're never going to be on board with it. You're
gonna hate the movie. You're gonna hate the rest of the time in this movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So he makes friends with the wolf. He makes Steve's World, which is a whole amusement park, which we never got to, which was too bad. There's pandas.
Right, and that one was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. There's pandas, there's cows, there's ruins. He finds a chest. He opens this new portal, which takes him to the Nether, where there's no joy. Their lust for gold has made them ruin their whole place. There's the piglins. There's Malgosia, who is the queen of them. We find out that the cube he has is called the Orb of Dominance. They want to pillage the overworld. So they try and grab him, but they lock him up. Then he escapes. He gives the stuff to his wolf, who takes it to Earth and hides it in his house under his waterbed. Maybe that wasn't the safest place to put it.
Yeah, good stuff. Very funny. Because he does that whole plan. The whole plan happens, and then we're cutting to the open credits or the opening Minecraft logo, and the voiceover just basically goes, "Wait, putting it on my waterbed is a terrible idea." Minecraft, da, 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 da. It's pretty funny. It's good.
It's just like the jokes are placed well. You have people that can deliver jokes.
Yeah, you do. You got a couple of good ones.
Now we meet Garrett the Garbage Man, who is Jason Momoa's character. He is the aging video game player. He was very good at Hunk City Rampage as a
hilarious
teenager.
Name for a game, by the way.
Gets the mail. It's his eviction notice. He goes to a storage auction. There's a 1978 Atari Cosmos. That's not a real thing, is it?
Not that I'm aware of. No, and I also don't think it would be worth that. I don't think systems are worth that much.
Well, I mean, if it was a super rare system and it was
I guess maybe it was like a limited edition type of thing. This is one of my other favorite scenes.
Oh, really?
Him talking to the what do you call him? I don't know, the auctioneer.
Well, it's what's his name? It's Jermaine from. It's Jermaine from.
Okay, I was like, it looks like him, but he's doing a great accent as opposed to a terrible accent.
Our first real accent. He's an Australian playing an American. Yeah.
I love his interaction with Jason Momoa before they go when he's trying to be friends with him, and he's like, just two big buffaloes out there in the wild wearing unisex turquoise blouses. I don't know why, but that line just killed me. Absolutely slayed me. It stuck with me the whole movie. I had to go back afterwards to write it down because the whole time I was just like, that's my favorite line of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love it. Plus, I love Jermaine. So, that all makes sense. Now that I know that it's him, it all makes sense.
I mean, I'm 99%. It looked exactly like him.
No, it looked like him, but the way he was talking, I was like, that can't be. He's talented. So there you go.
These hire incredibly talented people, and lo and behold, that's what you
get some good stuff. I can't believe it. Never would have thought it.
He ends up winning the auction. $900 goes in there. The Cosmos box is empty. Oh, one of my favorite lines is he slips the check into his pocket to pay for it. He's like, don't cash that for like 6 months or something.
Yeah, it was 6 months. First of all, 6 months. Very long time not to
Very
cash a
long
check.
time, yes.
For those kids out there that have never seen or used a check before, 6 months, very long time. Don't do that.
Very long time. And then he just starts trashing the thing, and then we see the globe is the orb is on the ground. So we're like, okay, he's got the orb. And then he's driving away, and he's like, I need a win. And playing the Poison rock and roll music. His car
love it
breaks down, and we see these other two kids driving by with their U-Haul full of all their belongings. They are moving to town. We have the kid Henry and his sister Natalie, and somehow she's like his guardian, even though she seems like she's 16 years old. I guess she's older
16.
than that.
I said 13. So you're better than me. I should look up how old she looks. Very young.
She looks too young.
While that's fine, like it's jarring at first because you just think to yourself like, how is she, one, driving, and two, the legal guard? Like, I understand their mom passed away, but it's a little weird. It's a little weird.
Yeah, that was, if I was going to have one real critique of the movie, is just have her be a little bit older, or have their mom coming later or something, make her 16 with their driver's permit, and then mom's coming in a month or whatever. It was a little.
Look up. She is 23 years old.
She does not look 23 years old.
She does not look 23 years old. I still don't believe it. I think that Google's lying to me.
Yeah. So Henry's an electronics kid. They get to the house. We see that the wolf is creeping around.
Yeah.
The sister has a job doing social media for the potato chip company. Just
another great line. She's like, I'm going to try to get their subscribers over 75. And I was like, that's great.
Oh,
what a low bar. Good for you. Yes.
And that's the thing. You set the low bar to make it go like, oh, wow. Things are not good.
Things are not good at the potato chip factory.
They meet at the house. They meet Dawn, who runs a zoo on wheels because there's an alpaca in her car. And I didn't notice it at first, but then when they shoot the car again, it has 2 stacks of giant cages on top.
Yeah, sure does. Yeah, very funny. What a brilliant job plan this is. I love it. Career trajectory. I'm going to start a mobile zoo.
Yeah, and the good thing about these jokes is they're there and they're gone. They don't like sit on them and say like, look how great we are for making this joke. They're just like,
no,
we see.
I mean, that's the Napoleon Dynamite in it, right? Like, it's just, you throw it, you leave it, you throw it, you leave it. You're just like, what is it? My head is spinning and I love it.
Yeah, and that's why you love Napoleon Dynamite.
I think so. Actually, I was thinking about this last night because we're watching this movie and I'm like, I do get the Napoleon vibes. Like, I understand, like, it's, the random humor and it's very silly. I think I hate John Heder. Is that how I say his name? I think I just hate him so much that I could never enjoy that movie because it's all him.
It's all him.
And I really don't like him.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I do want to rewatch that movie with that thought in my head of being like, well, ignore everything your main character does and just see if you enjoy, like, what's Pedro, like that guy. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna check it out at some point.
And Tina Majorino as the love interest. She's funny. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Henry's an electronics kid. They're melancholy. A little bit of time passes. The sister makes him a tater tot breakfast pizza to take with him. Boy, that looks good. School.
Give out slices. First of all, that's never going to slice. Okay. Like, tater tots are just going to fall off that thing. But I love it because it's like a play on the tater tot hot dish, which was big when I was growing up in the Midwest. That was like a big thing for us. So very funny.
He stops by the game store on his way to school. And this is just like Jason. Jason just goes nuts in this scene. It's probably his best scene because it's a really well acted scene where he's like, he's offering mentorship to the kid for $50 an hour.
Trying to sell this kid on his new like how to be cool like lifestyle thing. It's great. It's good.
Ends up taking the tots. He gives him a hot garbage tip. There is no I in team.
I think my favorite line is, I don't remember exactly what the kid says, but he's, I don't know, something. And Jason Momoa says, non-committal, classic loser mentality. That's such a great line. I loved it.
And you felt like they were going to set up what the kid had to go through, but they were just like, Momoa was just like, just
going for
here's
it.
a bunch of stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing matters. It's just like, here's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He gets to the school. Jennifer Coolidge is like the vice principal or something. And she starts doing this whole thing about her marriage falling apart.
Yep. Getting a divorce. Yep.
Oh, but she did say the great line. We stuck out the marriage for the 4 dogs.
But so what's interesting
for the dogs. Sorry.
For the dogs, but she said they've been doing it for 20 years. That math doesn't really line up, Dan. I don't know if you know this, but either their dogs are very, very old, or they just kept getting dogs and then they just kept sticking it out. And I choose to believe it's that one. Yeah. Like they just repeatedly got new dogs and were like, well, I guess we got to stay together because we got a new dog.
He goes into the art/gym class where, he's the new. He gets a little roasted. He's a rocket scientist, and so they're kind of like prove it. So he makes a whole rocket system, puts it on the skeletons. The bad kids clip one of the wires, and it goes up. And I was like, well, that's strange. You would have thought that clipping the wires would have made it not work.
Yeah.
Subjugation of our expectations. It goes up, then it turns, and we see the potato chip factory. And it has a big potato chip mascot guy. Yeah. It goes right towards it, hits the thing, and it like
tumbles off the roof into the river.
Into the river. And I was just laughing. I was like, this was my second biggest laugh in the movie. And you're just like, and the sisters in there working, and everybody's, and they're all like, good. The good news is nobody died, and he's taking the principal's office. The good news is nobody died, and they're like, you gotta call your sister, call your significant other, your guardian. He calls Jason Momoa.
Yeah. Another great Momoa moment coming up here. So the kid asks him, can you come to my school and pretend to be my uncle? Oh, yeah. And Momoa's response is, no, I don't do that anymore.
That's what you say. That's what you say.
What is that?
That's of course what you say.
Oh, I love it.
Because he's done stuff.
Love it.
This guy's done
stuff. Just crack me up. And I don't do that anymore.
And what does the kid say? I got $23 in my pocket.
And then the next scene, Momoa's there. It's beautiful. I do want to say one thing about the previous scene where he's in gym/art class. This gym teacher is my least favorite part of this whole movie.
Oh, okay.
And he is the most Napoleon Dynamite.
He is pretty Napoleon Dynamite
character in the whole movie. Yeah. So that does make me worried about rewatching Napoleon Dynamite, because I saw that and I was like, oh, you are literally from Napoleon Dynamite. I thought maybe it was even one of the characters. I don't know. I don't know it well enough. I did not like him, and he had one of my favorite lines of the movie where he's like talking about how he has 2 jobs or something, and he's like, but financially I'm living a nightmare. And I wanted to laugh, and I didn't really laugh, and I just didn't like him. So that's my big complaint to the movie is I would have liked anybody else, just anyone else in that role. But I'm sure people loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Well, you like Napoleon Dynamite. You have bad taste. What can we do about it?
Oh, so Natalie gets home, can't find Henry because he's down at the store, and they're not doing that well because Jason Momoa kind of gets mad at the kid and throws his notebook in the trash. But they're like, oh, okay. Oh, the kid puts the things together. He puts the cubes together. Oh, Jason Momoa tries to sell him the cubes for $950, I think. And then they find the instructions, which are like, don't do this. And of course they do it.
And then on the back of the instructions is something about how, like, even though there's a great amount of treasure here, don't do it. Even if you're a struggling business owner, like, it's specifically Jason Momoa. It's a lovely little scene.
Basically, it points them in the direction to follow the cube for money.
Yeah. Yep.
And, so Natalie can't find Henry, so Dawn's like, "Whoa, just do find a phone." So basically, we all end up at the mine.
Well, that again, she's got a great line. She goes, Dawn goes, "He's fine. He's just playing in an abandoned mine shaft." Great line.
Oh, he does say that.
Yeah.
They get sucked through the portal. They all bouncing off of each other. I believe Dawn says, she goes, "My butt."
My butt. Yeah.
Just a better line delivery than anything in Drive Away Dolls. That one line,
yeah.
"My butt." I believe Jason Momoa says, "This isn't Idaho. I think this is Wyoming."
Wyoming. Yeah. Like, what a stupid line.
Like, there's a difference. Okay. And one of the weird villagers goes to Earth, and we have these scenes of...
Did I miss him actually going to Earth?
He goes through the portal. He walks through the portal. One of them goes through the portal.
I must have missed that part, but all of a sudden he's there, and I was like, okay, we're doing this now. I'm on board. I don't remember it.
And basically, he gets hit by Jennifer Coolidge's car, her Grand Jeep Cherokee.
Jeep Cherokee. Why is that funny? It works.
Oh,
it works
because it's delivered by a professional comedian,
she is very funny.
We've probably talked about this. What was it in my one sketch? Was it Simi Valley?
Yeah, Simi Valley.
And then we had our friend Sue Kate when she said it. We just, it was going to become a joke, and all you're doing is saying the name of a city, and all she does is say the name of her vehicle, but she does it consistently at incorrect times, essentially, and it becomes a joke. And that's how comedy works.
She's delightful. I love her so much. She was I did a rewatch of Joey, the Friends spinoff, because they released it on the YouTubes. Wow. And she plays the agent, and she is just completely unhinged in that show. And it's just she's just great. Yeah. She's a national treasure.
She's the last of the character actors. And so basically, she has a romance with this guy, and
it's awesome.
And it's just, we probably won't talk about it much because it's just these weird little scenes that appear for 90 seconds
just like
or
the
2 minutes.
Interstitials, really, just so we can take a break and reset, and it works every time.
Yeah.
She does have one of my favorite jokes of the movie, so I will talk about that shortly.
Great. So Malagosha says to Steve, "Go get me the orb, and I'll spare the dog's life." Like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Jason tries to talk to a sheep, and then boom, it becomes night. Here come arrows. They run. Henry hits a tree. It turns into a small block, and then he realizes how you sort of can take materials, shrink them down, and then boom them again to make them big.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, so he makes a house, but they sort of lose the cube. And then Jason's falling down this pit, and then he sort of digs, and he meets a plant person, and then he hits it, and it explodes.
Yeah,
I didn't quite understand the plant people.
Well, that's what they do. So they're like zombies.
Oh,
but if you
zombies.
hit them, if you attack them, because that's how you have to kill things, they chase you. If you hit them, they blink, 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 and explode. So you have to hit them and run away.
Got
Just
it.
a game mechanic. Yeah.
So we're kind of learning that. Jason's at the house, but he can't get in. And then the cube got broken or just split into the two parts? I wasn't quite sure.
It got broken. The outer shell.
So the outer shell's gone for good. That's the issue.
Yes. So they have to find another outer shell, and there's only one other one.
They got it. So they have to he has to craft it, or was it crafted?
No. Jack has one in the whatever the woodland area is called in one of his chests.
Oh, those are his chests in that.
Yeah, those are his chests, which is one of my favorite game references in the whole movie, which is just all the chests in Minecraft have a limited amount of space that you can store things at. So like if you come to one of my towns, there are hundreds of chests everywhere because you have to put so much stuff away. So you got blocks, you got ores, you got weapons. You stop out. So you have hundreds of chests just spread all over, and it's always a mess. And I just loved that they.
How do you find what you're looking for?
You don't. It's super annoying. So a lot of people like group them together. So they'll have like, oh, stones are here, gems are here, things like that.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I have shit everywhere. And then I just have to keep running, checking chests. I'm like, where did I put it?
Jesus Christ.
It's annoying.
Oh, okay. So they save Jason, and now Steve shows up with an axe and starts fighting the zombies and kicking their butts and helping them. So now we've got everybody together.
It's a party.
And he just does his announcement, I am Steve, and he explains that they have to go get this crystal thing, or the outer crystal, and they have to go to the Woodland Castle to get it. So Woodland Castle isn't a real thing, that's just his thing?
No, I think it is. Okay. I think it is a real place. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay. So then they go to the village, there's the weird villagers. Out runs this pig wearing a crown, and they think that's important, but it's not important. We meet iron golems, which are the golems that protect the villagers, but they only protect the villagers if you attack them first. And then, yeah.
Okay, I've got the answer. Woodland mansions are a naturally generated structure in Minecraft, which are found in the dark forest biome. So there you go. So they naturally spawn. You don't have to build them.
But you can then go in and put your stuff there if you want to put your stuff there for whatever reason. We do a whole Steve's hot lava chicken thing, and he does a song.
Great. Listen, it's dumb. It's real dumb, but I liked it a lot.
And he and Jason compete over eating the hot chicken, and Jason eats it and then cries.
Like, it's been cooked by lava. Don't do it. It's great. And then he like cries after everyone leaves. It's very funny. The reason why this is my favorite Momoa performance, by the way, is 100% his screams that he does. He has the ability somehow, I don't know what's, to give these like very shrill screams, and they use it a lot in this movie, and I really enjoy it. Well, it makes me laugh every time.
He's always getting his butt kicked.
Yes.
He is getting knocked over, kicked around, they just lay it on him, and it's quite pleasant. You're like, oh, good. We meet General Chungus. He's got to go capture Steve. Then we kind of lay out that creativity equals survival here. Okay, we go to Steve's stash.
Which if we're critiquing, they don't really hammer that home.
What do you mean?
There's not a ton of creativity that saves the day in the third act.
No,
that's all I'm going to say.
No, it's the kid has to do it with his gun
which is not a weapon that you can make in Minecraft, so it's fine.
You can't make a gun that shoots stuff?
You can make a gun. You can't make a tater tot gun using parts from the real world. That's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, they said he's the only one that's ever done that.
Yeah, exactly, because it's against the rules. Okay. You gotta live within the world of Minecraft, guys. If we're getting nitpicky, but we're not because it's fun.
Maybe he jailbroke the game.
All right, that must be it.
We're introduced to the crafting table where you put some stuff on it, then you bang it, and it turns into things. Garrett makes some buck chuckets. He makes the tot launcher.
I will say when he makes the buck chuckets, great name by the way, very funny.
It's very funny.
And he demonstrates them.
Yeah.
But he does it with like the saddest look on his face ever. And it's like very, very sad nunchucking. It's great. It's a great little performance there, Jason Momoa.
Wow. You're just
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
I know. Boom. The alarm bell sounds. Here come the general with the pigs. They're trashing the town. Chungus talks with Steve, and we find out that they still sort of have their thing going on. Jason fights a pig. The girls pick up weapons. They fight pigs. The iron golem saves Jason. They go up to the ramparts. The guys and the girls are split up. So now the girls are kind of on one path where they don't really get to do anything and we don't have to deal with them. And then the guys get to do everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Then we have the flight wings. So he's got 2 sets of flight wings. He puts one on the kid, one on Jason. He doesn't have another one. The kid jumps, flies. Jason jumps.
Actually, Jason Momoa throws the kid off the cliff, which is hilarious. And then Jason Momoa jumps, and then Jack Black's like, I wish I would have brought 3. And then he jumps, and then to see him fall, and then he's flying. He's never-ending storying on the back of Jason Momoa. He's got his hair on like reins, and he's got leg wrapped around him. He's like, let my hips be your guide. It is delightful. It's so funny. It's so stupid. And then they have to. Can we just go right into when they have to change their positioning because they're about to go through something?
The bad guys come on hot air balloons, which are these big square monster things, which I really liked. And they're shooting fireballs and things, and they shoot a fireball into this one canyon, and they're going to have to go through this hole. That's the only place because they don't have the altitude. Yeah, and they have to rearrange.
They rearrange, starts yelling, go nose to toes. So they go into a 69 position, which is always delightful. And Momoa's like, you got to squeeze together. I don't know. The whole thing is great. It's a wonderful scene. It's slightly dirty, but in a very kid-friendly way. And I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Screaming at each other, you know, and you don't know what's going on, and it's just very funny. They have to do a man sandwich through the hole.
Man sandwich, yeah.
Did they say man sandwich, or did I make that up?
I'm not. I honestly don't even know. They're yelling so much stuff. Momoa's screaming at him. I don't know.
They're just yelling and yelling. Henry uses a rocket. They crash, and they use a water bucket so that they don't get hurt, which was... Yeah,
great
nice.
Game reference.
Now, can you do all that stuff in the game?
The water bucket. So that's how if you do take fall damage in Minecraft. So to stop that, you have to fall into any amount of water, basically. Oh, okay. So if you have water, you throw it down, and it'll negate your fall damage.
Can you make those wings and fly around?
Yes, you can, but it just depends on your game mode. I'm pretty sure because you can get wings and you can fly up and like build sky structures and stuff, which is cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
The girls try to make a boat. They fail miserably. That was kind of funny.
It's just a block. Yeah, it's good.
The romance continues with Jennifer Coolidge and the villager. They're talking about divorce. The boys want some answers, and so we set up how Malagosha went on Nether's Got Talent and tried to sing and got humiliated.
So stupid.
That was funny.
It's funny. It's just so dumb.
See, now that's the kind of thing. It is, a reference to our world, but it's like also blurred through this world.
100%.
So you don't have to spend any time explaining the joke. It's just like, Nether's Got Talent. Okay, we got the joke.
You're like, okay, we get the concept. Yep, we're on board. We've seen it in the real world. We get it. But were they vicious. Whew.
Yeah, they were. Malagosha's, now we get back, Chungus goes back there, and General Chungus, and she's unhappy with him, so she calls out the Great Hog, and the Great Hog kills Chungus. When they kills the things, they turn into little steaks or little...
Yep.
It's from the chops. They turn into little pork chops.
That's how you collect. So you kill something that turns into meat, and then you get to cook the meat and eat the meat, and that's how you stay alive.
Oh, okay. Well, so we have Natalie and Dawn walking at night being worried about Henry, but we see that they've become really good warriors and just killing things right and left.
Slaying while they're talking. It's fun.
And does it become like that in the game where zombies initially are very dangerous, but then at a certain point they're completely not dangerous? Well,
yeah, because, you'll get they don't really change, right? But you'll get you'll make armor, you'll make better weapons, you get some bow and arrows so you don't even get close. Yeah.
So, you're just showing how game progression works. Yeah. In the scene without talking about game progression where it's like, they are now adept at doing
look how good we are now. This is becoming so much easier. No, you don't have to do any of that. They're just killing people while having a normal conversation. It's really nice.
it's, and that's the thing, I can see people talking about this and not looking at those really subtle things like that.
Sure. Yeah.
That are dealing with this world as a game world and how characters are. We get used to things, and it just, it's like when you go to drive a car, you don't think, I'm going to crash into everything. You just drive a car.
Yep.
And they're part of the game now, and it's just how they do things. Boom, boom, boom. They run into the wolf, Dennis, and Don bonds with it. And then he is going to be able to lead them to where they are, and we can get the whole team back together.
Love it. Love it.
They're in the Redstone mines. They've gone to the Redstone mines because there are diamonds there, which Jason wants to get. Does he get the diamonds and put them in his pockets, or does he not?
I mean, he does, but we never really
come
back to that. Yeah, which is fine. That's fine.
Yeah. This movie does not spend a lot of time being manipulative about that kind of thing. About you betraying your friendships to get money or to get success or what. Usually a movie would have played that much harder.
Yeah, for sure. But he gets to be mad at him for like 5 minutes, and we get the nice line in a little bit, which is Jason's like, "Are you still mad at me or something?" And he's like, "It just happened."
Which is
it's great.
Beautiful line.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Because usually you either like it either just disappears, whatever.
Yeah. It's good.
It's all good. Boom, 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 boom. Jason falls into the booby traps. They get to the diamonds. Here comes the great hog. They get in the mine carts. The mine cart runs down in the middle of the creeper farm, and then Garrett has to get out and push. They get up to speed, and then the whole mine blows up. Okay.
Yeah.
Henry's mad because, Jason came for the diamonds.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need money. My life sucks. There, I said it. Right. I'm alone. And he's like, then we do a friendship thing. And I was like, I was wondering how much I was going to feel. And I was like, okay, I am starting to feel about these characters. That was the point. It wasn't high, enough. But it was like medium. Yep. And later on, it goes to high.
Yeah.
So I got there.
Yeah.
And then Jack Black's character says one of the best lines ever. He says, "Sorry about your finances."
Sorry about your finances. And that's it. And then they just walk off.
No. Then Jason says, "Shut up, Steve."
Oh, yeah.
But
they don't deal with it at all. It's just such a nice,
What a line. Sorry about your finances. Yeah. And Jack Black delivers it 10 times better than I did. He delivers it.
I mean, he's Jack Black.
Sorry about your finances or something. I don't even know what he does. It's great.
Keep trying. I think people will enjoy it, Dan.
They've arrived at the Woodland Mansion. And Jason gives the orb back to Henry. And then Henry kind of yells at him, too. I think this might have been the one where...
Because he's had it the whole time.
You forgive me? He's like, I'm still mad at you.
Yeah.
So they need a diversion because there's different monsters on each level of the Woodland Mansion. And Jason and Jack Black become the Mushroom Band and do this insane song.
Which is pretty fun.
Yeah. Henry's upstairs. He has to face axe murderers. He gets to the room of boxes, goes through the boxes, gets we go back and forth. He gets mesmerized, and there's this big evil creature.
The Enderman.
Oh, is that what it is? It's the Enderman, and he kills that. Yeah. He gets a teleportation module.
Yeah.
Is that what you always get? Or you can get different
I'm going to tell you real quickly that he kills that thing pretty easily. They're pretty hard, okay?
Enderman very hard to kill?
They're pretty hard. I've gotten murdered a bunch, so... Okay. But, I think the whole thing is he's very good at the game, so...
Yeah, he's very good at the game. Our guys get taken to the fight club, and then this is the whole boxing ring with the chicken jockey and the little Frankenstein riding the chicken.
Which is great. It's a great scene.
And Jack Black's like, keep him away from your face.
Yeah.
In the end, Jack Black's able to untie himself and save the day.
And kind of headbutt him? Does he headbutt?
He shoots through the air.
He kind of does the salmon. I don't know. It's great.
Very weird. And Henry appears, and then they leave. Malagosha makes a new giant hog and steals the cube. They throw Hank Oh, so they have to escape. So Jason Momoa throws Henry onto a balloon. Then they use a slime cube. Oh, they're on the bridge, and there's explosives.
Yeah.
So they throw two of them on the balloon, and then Jason's staying behind. I like slime cube a lot.
Yeah, slime cubes are great.
And then Jason Momoa gets another one of the greatest lines in the movie. Tell my story in song.
In song.
Real metal with real instruments. And there's actually
real instruments.
There's a couple more lines in there too, but tell it in song, real metal with
great.
real instruments. I was like, wow.
Very funny.
Going down, brace for him. Oh, they shoot off and then they crash, and they get knocked unconscious. They wake up. They're in this beautiful mushroom hut, and Natalie's there, and Dennis is there. Everyone is there, and we're heading into the third act.
Yeah, we are.
Third act is a big laser beam, which brings the great darkness to the
Sky beam.
Is that what it's called? Sky beam.
I mean, not that's just in general. That's like the third act thing. Marvel did them for a long time.
And it turns dark, and then this is where we are back in Steve's place, making all the stuff necessary to fight the bad guys.
Crafting Minecraft. They do a little handshake, though. 1, 2, 3. Is that this scene at the end of it? At the end of them making everything, and they're like, "All right, hands in the middle. 1, 2, 3." Something. Everyone says something. It doesn't matter. It's very funny.
Probably was. I didn't write that down.
It's very funny.
And then so they make an Iron Golem army, and then they're like, oh. Then the Iron Golems are worthless unless you provoke them. And the one guy shoots them with an arrow.
Yeah.
And then they say,
"Way to go,
Travis! Why did you do that?" Once again, you put a stupid name on that one pig, and you're like, "There's a joke." That's how you use references as jokes. You surprise us. You're like, "There's a mindless guy that did something wrong." You give him a name. Now he's not a mindless guy. He's someone that we're never going to talk about again, but there it is.
But they know him. You know what I mean? Like, they know this guy.
Steve goes to fight Malgosha. Doesn't go that well. They egg attack. Don is about to fight the big pig, but then Dennis and he's got a bunch of little wolves now.
Yeah.
Henry uses the teleportation to get up the top, but then they blow him off. And then here comes Jason
Momoa's back.
Momoa. He saved himself with the water bucket trick.
Yeah.
Oh, just see, there's the Dan Goodsell. Give us the one line. It's all we ever need.
And I mean, they did it very well though, because it's also a callback to earlier in the movie. So like, it's a well done one line.
It's crafted, put in there at the we're like, oh, okay, he's given us an explanation that we understand and we've seen in a movie,
and we've seen it
within the movie logic, so it works. Steve defeats. Oh, Natalie ends up with the orb. Oh no, yeah, wait, hold on, what happened? They fireball.
Hey, hold on.
They fireball the portal. Oh yeah, they use the pig thing that he's on to blast the portal apart. Here comes the sun. Everybody's burning up. The golems defeat the pigs. Natalie gets the orb. Steve has defeated Malgosha. And we have the best scene in the whole movie by about 10,000.
My God.
This scene, whoever wrote this scene should be given an award, a comedy award, and then Malgosha's on the ground. She's like, "Come closer. I have something to say to you." And he's like, "Do you have a tiny knife that you're going to try to stab me with when I come closer?"
She said, No, I'm too weak.
She pulls the knife on him. He bats it away.
And it's so slow. Like she's so slow with it. There's no surprise to it at all. And he just swats it away very casually.
She's all like, no, there is something. Come closer.
Come closer.
It's like, is there a second knife? Does it again. The third time, and he starts to walk away. Then she pulls the knife out, and she tries to throw it. She says, "Sneak attack!"
Sneak attack.
But she doesn't have the energy. It was comedy timing perfection. Just that
it's
that whole scene was shot together perfectly. I mean, cut together perfectly. All the lines were perfect.
Jack is perfect. Delivers all of that absolutely. Just it's wonderful. It's worth, even if you didn't love the movie, it's worth sitting through it just to see that scene. It's great.
Scene just because it blows up all horror tropes, all those like, oh, look out. He just like with the miner at the and that's the thing, they set it up with the miner at the beginning. Head fake. Yeah. He's not going to fall for the tricks. He's going to be able to do his thing. And then we talk about what's going to happen. And Dennis is going to go with Dawn. And we do a whole... Oh, because Mason Momoa's character's been speaking Spanish the whole movie. And so he's like, Vaya con Dios. And the sister's like, that
means goodbye.
That doesn't mean goodbye.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
And he has good. Like these reflective glasses that he's always doing. And he just... Yeah,
he's cool.
He's cool, but he's a nerd, but he's a loser.
He's the guy that like thinks he's cool, but peaked when he was 12 when he won that competition. It's great. It's great stuff.
It's good stuff. So Steve goes back with them, and then they all have new lives.
Oh wait, hold on though. But so my favorite Momoa line of the whole movie is at this final scene. He's saying goodbye to Jack Black and gets in close to Jack, and he's like, "Come visit anytime," because Henry's great, but I don't have a lot of friends my age, and I just fucking lost it, man.
Oh.
He delivers it with like just the right amount of like angst and irony that it's just, oh God. Momoa is great in this movie. There's nothing else to say. I just love it so much.
What was your favorite? You had a Jennifer Coolidge thing, I think you wanted to say.
Oh yeah. So at some point, I don't know, that we cut back there a couple times. I don't know. The waiter comes over and he looks at the miner and he's like, "Are you finished?" And she goes, "No, I think he's Swedish."
Oh yeah, he does that terrible
It's the
line.
dumbest joke I've ever heard in my life. It's like it's level 10 idiocy, and I just it broke. Yeah, I cracked up. Thought that was, she delivers it so deadpan. It's great.
She kills it.
I think he's Swedish. Yeah.
So they all come back. Dawn's doing her zoo and making her living. The sister opens a self-defense school. The kid makes the jetpack work. And then Jason and Jack are in their own weird band, and then they play a song.
Great ending song.
Yeah.
Great ending song. You don't get a lot of good topical ending songs anymore. We just don't do it that much anymore. It's nice.
That's since Shrek, right?
Yeah, there you go.
It's been a while.
But this is great. This is very fun. Very fun ending scene.
It looked good. The character it was always interesting. I don't know. They pulled this one off.
Yeah, I mean, it's zany. It's not going to be for everyone.
No.
Like I'm fine. I'm fine if you don't like it. It's an acquired taste, I'm sure. But to make a Minecraft movie is weird because there's no story to the game. You're just building. So like you have to create something. And I think they created something that's very fun and obviously resonates with the kids that play the game because it made $1 bajillion. So good on them. Good on them.
Make a broad comedy. I mean, I don't remember that much about the Super Mario Brothers movie, but it felt like it was kind of like this where it's just kind of like did its thing.
It's not. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's cute. It's not as zany, obviously. It's more of a straight-laced, like, oh, we're a cute animated film. Yeah. And it's great. I really enjoyed it, but I like this movie way more than I liked that movie.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there's an ending credit scene. Did you watch that in the credits where it turns out the villager can talk the whole time?
Well, the villager has learned to talk English.
Well, he said something like he was so shocked by her beauty or love or something that he was rendered speechless or something like that.
I think it was rendered the ability to speak. I think he gained the ability to speak.
That.
And then
it's so dumb.
She's gained the ability to speak villager, which is just like... and it's what's his name, Laszlo from Matt Berry. It's Matt Berry does the voice. You're like, okay,
Yeah, well, it's very good.
Get Matt Berry to do the voice in your movie. That's that's what you get to do.
Not bad. Well, I was pleasantly surprised by this top to bottom. I had a great time. The kids are going to love it. There's a couple, you just be careful. There's a couple of hells in it. I saw people all upset about that on Reddit. They're like, I'm so sick of curse words in my kids' movies. And it's like, is hell really even a curse word? I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't know. Make your own choices, but there's a couple of hells in it.
It's only a curse word if you use it as a curse word, right?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like, no one's like, go to hell, you're going to hell. It's just like, what the hell? That sort of thing. Yeah. I don't know.
It was a roller coaster ride. I
had a good time.
That is what it's like going to an amusement park. That's what this movie is like.
And going on like the Tower of Terror because it's intense. Yeah. It's intense the whole time. It is a movie that I will watch again. Yeah. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to watch it again at some point. Yeah. For sure.
Definitely a fun movie. Okay. All
right. Well, now Dan gets to pick. So I'm sure the movie next week's going to suck. First we have to talk about what we liked, I guess.
I saw this promo for this Nicole Kidman show, 9 Perfect Strangers. They like new season, and like each season is like and everyone was like, this is the worst White Lotus. It's like,
oh sure,
they go to some place. So I was like, I'll watch that. But you know what I'll do? I'll skip the first season. I'll just watch the second season. I had to do some Dan Goodsell logic just for you, Tony.
Oh, Dan. Yeah, it's nonsense. Okay, yeah. How'd that work out?
2 episodes in, really enjoyable.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Do you understand everything?
Yeah, she's like a pharmacologist, who, and then she doses drugs, like the people that come to stay to try to deal with their traumas.
On purpose? Like she's drugging them without them knowing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's wild.
It's very interesting. Annie Murphy is one of the characters. And
what?
Annie Murphy is one of the actors.
I thought you said
characters.
Eddie. No. I thought you said Eddie Murphy.
No, Annie Murphy.
Yeah, I heard it now. I heard it the second time. Yeah.
I can understand what you say. Yeah. And Nicole Kidman plays the doctor, and Nina Olin is in there. It's interesting, I mean, it may all fall apart, and I may never finish it, but I enjoyed those 2 episodes.
I love it.
What do you got? What do you got, Tony?
We finally watched Bad Monkey on Apple TV Plus with Vince Vaughn.
You told us.
Absolutely loved it.
You already did that. You already did that once.
Did we? Yeah. Did I start? Well, we started it. We finally finished it this week, and I watched it a second time. That's how much I enjoyed it.
I watched the first episode and maybe some of the second episode. It was.
And you quit?
It was enjoyable, but what was my problem? I don't think I had a problem with it.
Sure. Not your cup of tea.
It wasn't the kind of mystery that I wanted to go down. I like a different kind of mystery.
I get that. The mystery isn't really the driving force, if that makes sense. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a Psych or a Castle, where it's more like we're just here for the ride. We're not really here for the mystery of it all. You know what I mean?
It felt more like episodic. It felt more like primetime TV kind of storytelling. But
absolutely.
Great acting, great characters, good looking, just very good looking.
And we had a lot of fun. We had a ton of fun. Yeah. And there are some twists, but not to the mystery part of it. It's just everyone is crazy. Like that's where you start learning more about these people, and they're all super damaged. And just some of the things they do are very surprising. But it again has no bearing on like the overall story of it, if that makes sense. But it was a fun romp. I'm sorry I talked about 2 weeks in a row. Then I apologize.
Everyone's going to be very angry.
I didn't do anything else though.
Very angry.
I got nothing else.
I probably have lots of other things because I always start a lot of things and I rarely finish them.
I'm a big stickler for finishing.
Yeah, I gotta. Oh, I started Murderbot too.
Oh, wait. Hey, let me start again. We started Murderbot this week.
Did you?
We really enjoyed it. Yeah, we did.
Interesting. I'm hoping it gets smoother. You know,
Yeah.
You don't think it's going to get smoother?
Did you watch all three?
No, I've only watched 2.
Okay, the third one dropped as well. I don't think it's going to get smoother. I'll just tell you that.
It just, not that it was not smooth. It was just, know, the way they the way he talks is not. I don't care for it, and I feel like there could be some. He just feels like another human being speaking.
Sure.
And I wanted there to be some, like this, and that's why I really like Minecraft. Is these characters felt off kilter enough.
Yeah.
So that they weren't just you didn't feel like they were just people, just normal human beings.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. I get that.
He didn't feel like did you ever see the documentary about the guy who was the king of Donkey Kong, King of Kongs?
I watched it a couple of years ago. Yeah.
That guy felt like a normal guy. This movie, he is a heightened version of that.
Oh yeah, big time.
And Murderbot, it doesn't feel. Nobody feels heightened in some ways where it's like he's a robot. I would like to see something about him that makes me think, oh, he's a robot.
You didn't think that when they show him naked and he's got no pee-pee?
That's not him talking and
I'm sorry, I was just kidding.
Way.
It made me laugh when he was a Barbie doll. I thought it was funny. Ken doll, excuse me.
Ken doll, yeah. Barbie doll has all the features.
Jesus Christ.
Well, the ones I buy. So we need a bad movie.
Yeah, bring it back down. Bring the podcast back down.
1996.
Great year.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. Oh, as the lead? Is this a Billy Zane led film? Oh boy, okay.
Billy Zane. Batman is all the rage. So what do? We make every other superhero.
Oh, which one did
movie.
he do? Did he do Phantom?
What did he do? The Phantom.
The Phantom. I never saw this movie. I'm excited.
Skin tight purple suit.
Sexy.
So we'll see. The Phantom is originally, I believe, an Australian property, if I'm not.
Oh, really?
I think it started as an Australian newspaper strip. Or I could be wrong, but
okay.
Never.
Do some research for next week.
I'm going to have to. I had one Phantom comic book through my childhood, and it did not get well read. So I'm going to have to try to understand what the deal of the Phantom is.
Yeah.
It's like we all know what Batman is, right? His parents got killed. He's a multi-billionaire and makes gadgets and fights crime because he's trying to. Whatever. We all know all those things. The Phantom.
Fill that void. Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm going to find out.
I don't know either. I don't know nothing about it. I don't know any of the comic books. So let's do this thing.
Let's hit the Phantom. Let's hit him. Oh, I burped.
Hit it.
Well, that's the end of the show. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, or subscribe. Those are all things you can do to or go and watch all of our shorts, some of which have like 20 views and some of which have 5,000 views.
I don't understand how to do shorts. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I don't understand the game.
It just decides some of them to show to everyone and some not to show to everyone.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know nothing about nothing.
And we'll be back next week talking about Billy Zane's The Phantom.
Goodbye, everybody.